Hey, hello everyone, Mr. Estrada here once again. Today we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting square root expressions, which is very much like combining like terms. So we're going to start off with reviewing combining like terms. So take out some paper and pencil and follow along with this lesson. So let's review combining like terms real quickly. In the beginning of the semester, I kept using the concept of apples with apples and bananas with bananas to teach you guys the concept of combining like terms. So in the first example, as you can see, I only have apples with apples, or in other words, 7 apples plus 2 apples gives us 9 apples. 7a plus 2a gives us 9a. In the second example, I have 5b plus 3b equals 8b, or 5 bananas plus 3 bananas equals 8 bananas. In the third example, you'll notice that I mixed the apples and the bananas together. 7 apples plus 5 bananas plus 2 apples plus 3 bananas. I can only add apples with apples and bananas with bananas. Therefore, my answer is 9a plus 8b. And then my final example, number 4, you'll notice that I have 5x plus 4x equals 9x. And I told you guys that x maybe represents xylophones. So we have 5 xylophones plus 4 xylophones gives us 9 xylophones. All right, so now let's look at adding and subtracting square root expressions. When adding square root expressions, as you can see to the right, we just treat the square roots as if they were variables. So in adding 7x plus 3x, we get 10x. We're going to treat the square root of 3 as an x. So we have 7 times the square root of 3 plus 3 times the square root of 3 gives us 10 times the square root of 3. When subtracting, it's the same concept. 8x minus 5x gives us 3x. So 8 times the square root of 2 minus 5 times the square root of 2 gives us 3 times the square root of 2. And as you can see in the skills example number 1 here at the bottom left, 12 times the square root of 5 plus 4 times the square root of 5, they are only going to add the 12 and the 4 and then leave the square root of 5 alone, and that should give us the answer. Go on ahead and finish copying this example. All right, and if you look at skills example 2, you'll notice that they give us a sample of subtracting square roots. So we have 9 times the square root of 10 minus 7 times the square root of 10 equals, notice again, they're only subtracting the numbers next to the square root. So 9 minus 7 gives us 2. So the answer then becomes 2 times the square root of 10. All right, and in the final example here on applications number 3, you guys will notice that they're adding the perimeter of a triangle. Again, the perimeter is when we add all the sides of a figure. In this case, it's a triangle. So they added 10 times the square root of 6 plus 13 times the square root of 6 plus 6 times the square root of 6. Notice in the next step, they only added the numbers and left the square root of 6 outside of the parentheses. And once we added all those numbers, we get 29 times the square root of 6. All right, so now it's time to practice on your own. Go on ahead and do 4 through 12 on your own.